U.S. military wants to demonstrate new nuclear power systems in space by 2027. An artist's illustration of an ultra-safe nuclear battery in space on a test flight for the U.S. Defense Innovation Unit. Image credit, DIU. Add the Defense Innovation Unit to a growing list of U.S. government organizations furthering their work in nuclear power and pace. The organization, which seeks to get the military ready to use emergent commercial products, announced 2 prototype contracts on May 17 to demonstrate the next generation of nuclear propulsion and power capability for spacecraft. The ultimate aim is an orbital flight demonstration in 2027, DIU officials said in a statement. The contracts went to 2 companies, Ultra Safe Nuclear and Avalanche Energy, to demonstrate nuclear propulsion and power capabilities for small spacecraft that would operate in cislunar, Earth-Moon, space. The values of the contracts were not disclosed in the release. It's part of the U.S. military's pressing focus on cislunar activities to keep an eye on commercial and government activities that will ramp up there in the coming decades, including the international NASA-led Artemis program that seeks to put people on the moon in the 2020s. The U.S. military is interested in monitoring cislunar space as government and commercial activities increase in the sector. If all goes to plan, ultra-safe nuclear will demonstrate Embercore, a chargeable, nuclear radioisotope battery useful for propulsion and power. This next-gen radioisotope system will be able to scale to 10 times higher power levels, compared to plutonium systems, and provide more than 1 million kilowatt-hour, of energy in just a few kilograms of fuel, DIU stated. Avalanche Energy's Orbitron seeks to trap fusion ions in electrostatic fields, with assistance from a magnetron to keep the electrons closer to their nuclei than what is usually possible. The resulting fusion burn then produces the energetic particles that generate either heat or electricity, which can power efficiency propulsion system, DIU stated. Compared to other fusion concepts, Orbitron devices are promising for space applications as they may be scaled down in size and enable their use as both a propulsion and power source. Nuclear thermal rockets, like the one in this artistic rendering, could have the time needed for a Mars mission. Image credit, Pat Rawlings/NASA. Another military organization seeking cislunar nuclear technology is the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA. On May 4, the organization announced it is ready to move forward on a project to design, develop, and assemble a nuclear thermal rocket engine for an expected flight demonstration in Earth orbit by 2026. The proposals will support DARPA's Demonstration Rocket for Agile Cislunar Operations (DRACO) program, which aims to develop a nuclear thermal propulsion (NTP) system for use in Earth-Moon space. NTP uses fission reactors to heat hydrogen or other propellants and shoot them out of nozzles for thrust, generating a thrust-to-weight ratio 10,000 times higher than electric propulsion systems. It also improves on chemical rockets, as the propulsion efficiency, specific impulse, of NTPs is about 2 to 5 times higher, DARPA officials wrote in a description of the DRACO program. NASA is looking into NTPs as well. Such systems could bring astronauts to Mars in half the time than current propulsion systems, which would take 6 to 9 months. NASA's fiscal 2023 budget request, not yet approved by Congress, includes $15 million to support nuclear propulsion, and NASA is collaborating in the DRACO project too. DARPA creating industry/government group for safe operation of space robotics. Consortium for Execution of Rendezvous and Servicing Operations, CONFERS, envisions consensus-based technical standards that would encourage responsible on-orbit commercial servicing operations. Outreach at DARPA.mil. November 29, 2016. Recent technological advances have made the long-standing dream of on-orbit robotic servicing of satellites a near-term possibility. The potential advantages of that unprecedented capability are enormous. Instead of designing their satellites to accommodate the harsh reality that, once launched, their investments could never be repaired or upgraded, satellite owners could use robotic vehicles to physically inspect, assist, and modify their on-orbit assets. That could significantly lower construction and deployment costs while dramatically extending satellite utility, resilience, and reliability. In fact, efforts to achieve the goal of on-orbit servicing are already underway, including DARPA's Robotic Servicing of Geosynchronous Satellite (RSGS) program, which focuses on services for satellites in geosynchronous orbit. But these efforts all face a major roadblock: the lack of clear, widely accepted technical and safety standards for responsible performance of on-orbit activities involving commercial satellites, including rendezvous and proximity operations (RPO), that don't involve physical contact with satellites, and robotic servicing operations that would. Without these standards, the long-term sustainability of outer space operations is potentially at risk. To help overcome these challenges and provide the foundation for a new commercial repertoire of robust space-based capabilities, DARPA is creating the Consortium for Execution of Rendezvous and Servicing Operations, CONFERS. Through CONFERS, DARPA aims to establish an industry/government forum composed of experts from throughout the space community. Participants would leverage best practices from government and industry to research, develop, and publish non-binding, consensus-derived technical and safety standards for on-orbit servicing operations. In doing so, the program would provide a clear technical basis for definitions and expectations of responsible behavior in outer space. We're inviting the space community to join us in creating a permanent, self-sustaining one-stop shop where industry can collaborate and engage with the U.S. government about on-orbit servicing, as well as drive the creation of the standards that future servicing providers will follow, said Todd Master, DARPA program manager. These standards would integrate data, expertise, and experience from both government and industry while protecting commercial participants' financial and strategic interests, and provide investors, insurers, potential customers, and other stakeholders with the confidence to pursue and engage in this promising new sector. By working to develop consensus standards, CONFERS has the potential to reduce financial, regulatory, and diplomatic risks and nurture an exciting technological opportunity, said Brad Tousley, director of DARPA's Tactical Technology Office, which oversees both CONFERS and RSGS. CONFERS is a high priority for DARPA. The CONFERS program would be executed by an administrative organization that would address the primary areas of consortium organization, technical leadership and management, and standards development. DARPA aims to transfer CONFERS leadership and funding to industry before FY 2021, the year in which the agency is scheduled to perform its first on-orbit demonstration of RSGS. DARPA will host a Proposers' Day on Friday, December 16, 2016, at DARPA's offices in Arlington, Virginia, to further clarify the program vision and answer questions from potential proposers. Advance registration is required. The space domain is essential to modern commerce, scientific discovery, and national defense. Moving larger payloads into farther locations in cislunar space, the volume of space between the Earth and the Moon, will require a leap ahead in propulsion technology. The goal of the demonstration rocket for Agile Cislunar Operations (DRACO) program is to demonstrate a nuclear thermal rocket (NTR) in orbit. NTRs use a nuclear reactor to heat propellant to extreme temperatures before exhausting the hot propellant through a nozzle to produce thrust. Compared to conventional space propulsion technologies, NTRs offers a high thrust-to-weight ratio around 10,000 times greater than electric propulsion and 2 to 5 times greater specific impulse, i.e. propellant efficiency, than in-space chemical propulsion. Phase 1 of the DRACO program involved 2 tracks. Track A conducted a baseline design of an NTR reactor. Track B developed an operational system concept to meet operational mission objectives and a demonstration system design that is traceable to the operational system but focuses on demonstrating the propulsion subsystem. Phase 2 and Phase 3 of the DRACO program will carry a single performer forward to the flight demonstration, which is envisioned to take place by FY 27. This performer will be responsible for building the NTR and its demonstration system stage. Phase 2 will involve a cold flow test of the rocket engine without nuclear fuel. Phase 3 will involve assembly of the fueled NTR with the stage, environmental testing, and launch into space to conduct experiments on the NTR and its reactor.